What up, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy Journal. It is January 1st, 2014. Congratulations. As I mentioned before in my shout out, now is the time that you are going to embrace another level, another dynamic of you. So welcome. How you doing? How was your New Year's? I know some of you are like, oh. Well, you know what? I decided to stay in last night, because I got to work. I got to work. And, I want to make sure that I am in sound mind and body. But that's okay, because I know that I'm going to have plenty of opportunities to celebrate this year, because there are a lot of blessings that are going to come, I know, for myself and as well as for you guys too. That's the process. That's the process of evolution for you, by securing your spiritual grounding as well as defining your reality. So this video, I'm going to title it, No Longer Are the Days. That's right. No longer are the days. You see, I know some of you right now are waking up and you're feeling like, you may have the best intentions last night, and you're waking up to the reality that wasn't a good move on your part. Some of you may have felt that you may have compromised yourself unknowingly. You thought one way, but it didn't turn out the way that you thought it was. No longer are the days. See, you got to understand something, y'all. Your higher power, as I know him, is my Lord Jesus Christ, but I also am humbled to know he is one of many names. What he has in store for you is so precious, but there is a requirement. There must be a price that have to be paid. There's no way around it. No longer are the days. So some of you may be waking up from a slumber, and you probably had some seriously vivid dreams. You may have saw something that caused you to be alarmed. It may have been a fear. It may have been something that was not spoken long ago, or maybe being inside of what's to come, and you are in a different mental place. Actually, that is your spirituality trying to protect you. As I always will profess, you have angels, you have spirit guides around you. For some that don't know what I mean is, see, we're all God's children, but it's up to us in our development and connecting to him when we claim that in our own right. That's why I always say energy out is energy in. No longer are the days. So you have gotten to a point in your life now, in this moment, where you say, there are choices that I have made that I cannot turn a blind eye to. No longer are the days. See, you are getting to a place now where the convenience of condoning has no place in your life. It is starting to manifest itself as a burden, and you have to make a decision. But it is always the devil's work to place doubt, because he knows that you are about to release a seed that is going to birth into a new direction. No longer are the days. See, you aren't required to be on this beloved planet to suffer, but yet society has convinced you to take roads that are not less traveled. They only put you in more confusion. No longer are the days, because you can't do that no more. Them shackles that had you bound, no. You see that you had the key within you the whole time, because see, what is happening is your spirit and physical being is saying, no, I see my worth. I cannot walk with you anymore. No longer is the days. I want you to understand something. Do you realize that if it was that simple to have personal happiness, everyone would have it? But because you have your name that was given by Him, you have certain challenges that you must master on this planet. And the more that you master them, it means the more that you must be authentic to yourself. No longer are the days. So, someone right now is doing this. And you're looking, and you're saying, what did that person see? Why do I talk to this person? Why do I give access to this person? And you're going delete. That's okay. Sometimes it is required for you to go within yourself. Sometimes it is required for you to be still. I tell everybody, be still. Let your mind and body become one. Some of you have forgotten what it is to have peace, because your reality has convinced you that chaos is the way of life. And I'm here to tell you that is a lie. That is an illusion. And that is not your purpose. No longer are the days. You're not going to claim the things that don't have your name on it. You are going to seize your worth and purpose. So, some of you have thought about it. Some of you have prayed on it. Some of you thought about it again. Some of you have prayed on it some more. And then have finally gotten to a point where if you could actually hyperventilate because of this fear, you're scared because you're like, I don't know what to do. Let me tell you something. Trust your higher power, because what you fail to realize is that fear, your blessing's on the other side of it. It is. But you got to look at it now. You can't run from it. That is why some of you have realized that you were actually living someone else's life. Some of you were trying to define your life through someone else's expectation, only to see that it was not your life. That's okay. It's alright. You had to learn that. But now you start to see how precious your life really is. So I congratulate you. See, the more and more that you gravitate to yourself, that you go within yourself, guess what happens? You don't let anything anger you anymore. You resonate from a place of peace and harmony, and that's what you desire. That's all you want. You may find yourself that you're looking at being out there not so well no more. You're like, well, I'm on this treadmill of the same routines, and I see the same people, and I get the same result. No longer are the days. You gotta understand something, y'all. You got to embrace your walk. So to do so, guess what? You gotta make that decision to let some things go. That's why to have a breakthrough, you have to go through a breakdown. Because when you allow things to break down, guess what happens? What comes out of that? The real. And real always recognizes real. Now, doesn't it? See, haven't you noticed that some dynamics or some relationships that you interact with certain people are not the same with others? Why? Because there's no balance. It should be one, which is you. That is why you're feeling the upheaval. But see, if you have fallen in the pitfalls that we've all done, where I just want this person to get me, but no matter what I do, I've got to take a position of suddenly, no longer are the days. Because see, if you love yourself, truly love yourself, you're going to invest in you. And guess what? The people that love you, guess what? They should be doing the same thing in their lives. But if it feels like you're doing this, come on, don't go nowhere. Do this. Because what you may not realize is, when you do like this, what you really need might be right around the corner. That's why I tell you, that's why I explain to you, my queens, it is not your place to go out and seek a man. That is why I convey this to you, my kings. You cannot, listen, yes, society has convinced us, oh yeah, well, a man is supposed to sow his oats. But what society is not telling you is, society wants you to release your seed without any government under it. Because if you do that, guess what? You're not a risk. There's no direction there. You're all over the place. No longer are the days. Somebody's thinking to themselves right now, you're looking at your body and you're seeing bruises. You're thinking about the escapades that you went through last night and how you were playing Twister through sexual expression, but yet there's no love in it, and you feel disgusted because you know that you go through this all the time. And you say to yourself, I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not going to do that no more, because I'm degrading myself each and every time. And you're starting to see that every time that you allow someone access to you, you're more or less allowing someone to emotionally burglarize you, to physically vandalize you, and you don't like it. Well, guess what? You're not supposed to like it. That's why the drama comes. Or worse, maybe that's why the drama won't leave. Because you're thinking with this, not this. Not governing with this. So there's no balance. No longer are the days. And here's the ironic part of it. I tell you, my kings and queens, this. When you take the time to invest in yourself, truly invest in yourself, guess what? All those blessings that you have here, that are regulated here, will be manifested here. Here. It'll be your reality. You'll get to a point. See, I got chills going right now. I'm feeling it right now. See, you got to understand something. Sometimes, your Heavenly Power, your Heavenly Father, He gets to a point where He says, okay, I've shown you that I exist. I've allowed certain things to take place to validate this in your best interest. However, you're not honoring me. So, He turns around and says, okay, you don't need me? Alright, I'm going over here. And then you got all this drama. The things that was found in your heart, you've attracted it. So, if in your heart there is deception, Well, guess what? Your environment is set up to deceive you. Haven't you noticed that? So you gotta understand that we are more or less like mirrors. The energy that we project out is what's going to be our reality. So, my kings, if you think that, oh, well, I'm just going to go and I'm going to knock down Susie and I'm going to smash Lisa and I'm going to turn out Wendy, well, guess what? Eventually, usually how it goes is you'll get to a point where you're full. You've already fed. And now you're trying to be grounded. And then all of a sudden, you meet Tanya. Tanya is unlike anyone that you've met. Tanya stimulates you here, but doesn't hear. Visually, she is everything that you could desire. Notice I said I didn't say need, but desire. And you take on a position of condoning her bad behaviors. You start to compromise yours, and next thing you know, when the season is right, one by one, the things that you did, she does to you. Energy out is energy in. No longer are the days. So, if you are that someone that is saying, you know what, I made a decision to wash away my past, wash away my connections, start by praying first. Ask for forgiveness for those ties, because those are soul ties that you have to undo. I mean, think of it like this. You open the door, and as I tell my partners all the time, the same energy that took you to do it is going to be the same energy needed to get through it. But see, when you define your worth, you secure your walk. So don't worry about the things that you have no control over. You govern yourself. You stay focused to Him. And I guarantee you, He will make all things broken, healed, all things lost, found, and all words that were said in past will make sense today. He will. Why do you think people come back? Because it's for validation, to see if you got it. Even if it's just for the moment, just to say, I'm sorry. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. See, until you are willing to be authentic with yourself, you can't embrace the life that's intended for you. It won't. Excuse me. It's like you can see it. It's like being on one side of the street and you on the other. But you can't get to it. Why? Because you have not done the required work to claim it. And that's your life. So no longer are the days are you going to take the short route. You're going to take the road less traveled. My kings, you tired of people calling you dogs? You tired of people looking at you as unstable or irresponsible? Take that same energy that you used to do and apply it in those challenges one by one. And I guarantee you, you will find the footing that you long deserve. You will find the peace of mind that will quench your heart and mind. Why? Because He's doing this. So come on. Stop playing. I know you're tired. Come on. What you waiting on? What you waiting on? You listening to them? How are you going to do that? You need to focus on me. Focus on me. I got what you need, not what you want. That's why the devil's work is never done. Queens, that's why you got that guy in your life that no matter what you try to tell him, you blue in the face, he don't get you. He's not going to get you because he's there to use you. And once he's done the damage, guess what? He's going to move on. But he's going to stay there until you've gotten to the point of becoming bitter. Becoming a shell of the queen that you are. Some of you don't even realize how beautiful you are from the inside. From the inside. And that's why the outside looks weathered. Because you're suppressing that. You're compromising the way you feel from your steps. It doesn't match. Some of you are so convinced that not to love yourself. What do? You watch what the person that should not be watched. You give them attention instead of gravitating to the things that are better you. Why? Because someone placed that seed of doubt in your heart. No longer are the days are you going to do that. And you know what? Guess what? Sometimes when you get to that point where you're ready to do the work, guess what happens? God will sit you down. He's going to sit you down. And you're going to go through a period of reflection. The desire to do this, I wonder what Bob's doing. Or online. You're going to go through it. You're going to go through a period of like you're going to be disgusted. Why? Because that's the validation to authenticate that you're going on the right path. That's why I tell people, these dating sites, these social media, it is nothing but an illusion from your perspective. That's why they're wide open. I know women, you know what I'm talking about. You go from a pure place and put it out there, and what do you get? You get everything that you don't want. Some of them are so bold, they're going to tell you what they want to do and how you going to do it. All in hello. Why? Because the devil doesn't want you to do what's needed. No longer are the days are you going to condone that. Right? Right? I know you hear what I'm talking about. Some of y'all doing this. So what is that, Gerald? That's your panties. And you're doing this because you're picking them up. But the environment's different every week. And you're like, so men do it all the time, but guess what? Society condones their ignorance, but they shun yours. Why? You're not supposed to do that. Why do you think that your exterior is doing what it does? Some of you are so broken that you're breaking down. You're already broken inside, but your exterior is it's reflecting what's inside. Why do you think the medical community is making so much money off these pills? Because 85% of the things that you're going to see on TV is neurologically connected. And what is neurological? The mind. Deals with the emotional, the nervous system. So if your mind's not right, your body's not going to be right. I know you see the correlation. I know you do. So let's bring this back home. Make this the day that you make a defining decision that you're going to change, but you're going to do it from a place of love. You're not going to do it in a position of spite or condemnation. You're not doing that no more. You ain't got to do that because guess what? You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. And actually, if you really want to see something very smart, the more and more that you embrace yourself, guess what? You'll get to a point where you'll be able to see the environment that's trying to invite themselves out. You'll be like, look at this dude. You think I fell off the turnip truck? And you'll know. Because the more you speak your truth, the more your truth will be revealed. You'll be able to get to a point spiritually where you can sense someone where they're coming from before they open their mouth. You'll know. Because that's when your discernment is at its heightened point, and that's what you need. But guess what? The more you do that, the more your blessings come, slowly but surely. Because each step that you take, one step closer, your blessing becomes. You deserve it. And guess what? Some of you some of y'all gonna have been praying for your husband. You ask God, I want to be a faithful wife. Bring me my husband. Well, guess what? When you authenticate yourself and do the work, one by one, you start mastering those fears. You start breaking off those rough edges. Each time you do it, the closer you get to your husband, because he's going to come out. He's going to come. It's going to be like a spiritual beacon is going to be released. And guess what? He's going to feel it in his spirit. It's going to be his conviction to seek you out. You'll see. But be careful when I say this. The devil's work is never done. And he will throw a wild card in the mix of all of them. You know how sometimes when you take a female dog and she is in heat, it don't matter where that dog is. You're going to have dogs from everywhere that can pick that scent up. Same goes with you. But it should be from a spiritual point of view. And I'm going to tell you, if you invest in yourself, guess what? Not only will the harmony, the love, the intimacy, the clarity that you dreamt about, that man's going to possess each and every one of them. And guess what? Love, intimacy, he's going to take it to a level that you can only say is heaven sent. You think for 1 second what you may have experienced, because you were experimenting, trying to understand. No. You'll realize what it feels like to walk in the clouds. I'm telling you, because guess what? God loves you that much. He's going to give you the greatest gift you could have next to your heart, and that's your mate. That's the yoke. So guess what? You had to go through these experiences. You had to go through a season of being still. You had to do it, because that's how those rough edges and some of your greatest challenges are going to fight to keep in. You see, some of you may have an issue with we'll say with cigarettes, and you know what? When you least suspect it, you're gonna get that craving, or alcohol. You're gonna, everything's good with moderation. I'm not gonna say but I'm just saying the things that your greatest temptation will come just to see where you are. You gotta master that, and once you master that, watch what God reveals. God, watch what He gives you. You'll be able to say, you know what? When you look back, you can say, you know what? It was so worth it. I think you're worth it. I do. I really do. So, I hope you guys have a blessed week. This is January, y'all. Can you believe it? It's January. So, I know some of y'all are going to turn around and, hey, I'll just say this. If your environment has non-growth in it, let it go. That's what people, family members do. If they don't help you grow, you have to step back. You have to do this for yourself. Don't worry about, because if it's a family member, don't worry about it. Because what'll end up happening is, if they really love you, they'll see the errors in their ways, and they will change so that you're in their lives. They will. But if not, you pray for them anyway, and you claim your life. No longer are the days are you going to hold on to someone else's burden or condone someone else's misdeeds. That's why it's like-minded. And if that ain't you, that ain't your purpose, stop claiming something that ain't yours. And when you claim what is rightfully yours, you speak from your heart, you validate it with your steps, watch how your life drastically changes. The sun will finally be able to shine within your heart. You deserve it. Come on now. Come on. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I know some of you are like, Drew, I got to keep my alcohol, so I did it over. You rest. Drink some water. Get some water up and you flush that out. You'll be fine. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. You guys are extensions of me and I'm extensions of you. You deserve to be loved and blessed and protected. And I ask God to have all your dreams come to pass when they are deserved. So therefore I see your work because I discern it through mine. It's our year, y'all. Have a blessed and beautiful week, alright? Bye, y'all.